Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about Volcano movie. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Volcano is a 1997 American disaster film, directed by Mike Jackson and starring Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Hush and Don Cheadle. The film deals with the eruption of a volcano in downtown Los Angeles and the challenges emergency officials face to stop the lava flow and save residents. The story begins with Michael Rourke, director of the Los Angeles County Office of Emergency Management, who is responsible for dealing with any emergency or natural disaster that threatens the city. Rourke spends his time between his work and his daughter Kelly, who is suffering from the separation of her parents. One night, Rourke senses a mild earthquake and receives a call from Emmett Reese, his assistant in the office, who tells him that there is a gas leak at the subway station. Rourke goes to the site and finds that the temperature in the tunnels is too high and that there is smoke. It emanates from the ground. There he meets Dr. Amy Barnes, a volcanologist who works at a geological institute, who points out that there is volcanic activity beneath the city. Rourke and Barnes make sure there is an active volcano when a pipe explodes on the street, and a lava fountain emerges from it. The volcano begins to release ash and volcanic rock into the air, causing fires and destruction in buildings and cars. Rourke and his team are trying to evacuate the area, rescuing people trapped in tunnels and buildings. They are exposed to many dangers, such as a bridge collapse, a bus explosion, and a building collapse. Rourke, Barnes, Kelly, Reese and some other survivors survive and head to the office to develop a plan to stop the volcano. They discover that the lava is heading towards Lake Tar, and that if it reaches it will interact with the water and explode strongly, completely destroying the city. Rourke decides to use dynamite to blow up some buildings along Wilshire Road, creating a barrier of rubble to change the lava path away from the lake. Rourke asks for the help of the military, police and volunteers to implement the plan. They face resistance from some citizens, who refuse to leave their homes or belongings. There are also some racial tensions between blacks and whites due to the city's history of racism and riots. Rourke and his team succeed in blowing up buildings, forming a barrier from rubble. They manage to direct lava into the sea, where it cools and hardens. The volcano stops erupting, and calm returns to the city. Survivors celebrate their survival, collaborating to rebuild the city. Rourke decides to take care of his daughter Kelly and begins a romantic relationship with Barnes. Rourke looks up at the sky, watching volcanic ash cover the sun, creating a stunning spectacle. Rourke says, "This is the first day in our new life, and here we will have reached the end of our movie." Here are some quotes from our movie. Volcano is a 1997 American disaster film, directed by Mike Jackson and starring Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Hush and Don Cheadle. The film tells the story of the eruption of a volcano in downtown Los Angeles and the attempt of emergency management officials to deal with the disaster and save the residents. The film was a moderate commercial success, garnering mixed reviews from critics and audiences. Quotes about the story and disasters: "This is not a volcano. This is Los Angeles." Dr. Amy Barnes. This quote expresses the shock and astonishment experienced by the main character, Dr. Amy Barnes, a volcanologist who discovers that there is an active volcano beneath the city of Los Angeles. This quote also shows the contrast between the tranquil and civic nature of Los Angeles and the immense and destructive power of the volcano. "Don't worry, it's just small earthquakes. We're in California." Michael Rourke. This quote expresses the confidence and recklessness of Michael Rourke, director of the Los Angeles County Office of Emergency Management. This quote says at the beginning of the film, "When unusual earthquakes occur in the city, and it is believed that they do not pose much danger." This quote also shows the irony of reality, as these earthquakes are an indication of the next eruption of the volcano. The volcano doesn't care what you do, he does what he wants. Dr. J. Calder. This quote expresses the truth and realism spoken by Dr. J. Calder, Dr. Amy Barnes' husband and also a volcanologist. This quote is made in the middle of the film, when Michael Rourke and his team try to divert lava by barriers and explosives. This quote also shows the helplessness and nihilism felt by Dr. Calder, who believes that the volcano cannot be predicted or controlled. Quotes about personalities and relationships. I don't like volcanoes. I love you. Michael Rourke. This quote expresses the feelings and emotions spoken by Michael Rourke as he confesses his love for Dr. Amy Barnes at the end of the film. This quote also shows the change and development of Michael Rourke, who at the beginning of the film was only interested in his work and his daughter, and at the end of the film is ready to start a new relationship with Dr. Barnes. You're not alone, I'm with you. Kelly Rourke. This quote expresses the support and solidarity spoken by Kelly Rourke, Michael Rourke's daughter and high school student. She says this quote at the beginning of the film, when she tries to console her father, who is suffering from a divorce from his wife. This quote also shows the strength and maturity of Kelly Rourke, who considers herself a friend and partner of her father. You know what they say, the volcano gathers people. Emmett Reese. This quote expresses the humor and playfulness spoken by Emmett Reese, Michael Rourke's assistant and best friend. He says this quote at the end of the film, when he sees that Michael Rourke and Dr. Amy Barnes have moved closer together. This quote also shows the positivity and optimism of Emmett Reese, who sees the disaster as an opportunity for communication and cooperation between people. Quotes about messages and meanings. Nature speaks, and we have to listen. Dr. Amy Barnes. This quote expresses the respect and humility of Dr. Amy Barnes, who warns not to ignore or underestimate the danger of the volcano. This quote also shows the film's environmental message, which is that man is not the master of nature, and that he must harmonize with it and benefit from it sustainably. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you come from, or what your religion is, you're Los Angeles. Michael Rourke. This quote expresses the tolerance and coexistence that Michael Rourke speaks as he addresses the volcano survivors. This quote also shows the film's humanitarian message. Disaster makes people transcend their differences and unite in the face of adversity. A volcano is not the end of the world, it is a new beginning. Dr. J. Calder. This quote expresses the hope and optimism of Dr. J. Calder as he watches lava turn into rock and form new landscapes. This quote also shows the film's scientific message, which is that the volcano is part of the Earth's geological cycle, and that it can create new life after destruction. Technical information about the film. Volcano is a 1997 American disaster film, directed by Mike Jackson and starring Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Hush and Don Cheadle. The film deals with the eruption of a volcano in downtown Los Angeles and the challenges emergency officials face to stop the lava flow and save residents. Production. Volcano is one of 3 films that tackled the theme of volcanoes in 1997, alongside Dante's Beck and Hell's Volcano. The film is produced by 20th Century Studios and directed by Mike Jackson, who was a director of commercials before turning to cinema. The script was written by Billy Ray and is inspired by a real incident that occurred in 1986, when a volcano erupted in Lake Neos in Cameron, killing more than 1,700 people from toxic gases. Ray changed the location of the story to Los Angeles, added elements of excitement and suspense. Producers Neil H. Moritz and Lauren Schuler Donner chose Tommy Lee Jones as Michael Rourke, director of the Los Angeles County Bureau of Emergency Management, and Anne Hatch as Dr. Amy Barnes, a volcanologist at a geological institute. Jones and Hush had previously worked together on the popular action film New York Escape in 1981. Don Cheadle joined the film as Emmett Reese, Rourke's assistant in The Office, one of his first high-profile roles in cinema. Gaby Hoffmann played Michael's daughter, Kelly Rourke, who was 10 years old when she filmed the film. The rest of the cast included Jacqueline Kim, Keith David, John Corbett, Michael Rispoli, John Carroll Lynch, Dayton Kaye, Valente Rodriguez, and others. Principal filming for the film began in April 1996 and continued until August of the same year. Filming locations included Los Angeles, the Mojave Desert, and Fox Studios. The film used advanced techniques of visual and special effects to create scenes of volcano, lava, ash and volcanic rocks. The visual effects were created by companies such as Digital Domain, Boss Films, Resm, Fantasia, and LMP. Special effects were created by companies such as Brand Fraser, Massimo Antonio, and James Cameron. The film's soundtrack was composed by Elaine Silvestri, a famous composer. He has worked on films such as Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, and Avatar. The film was edited by Don Proshaw and Michael Tronick. Version: Volcano was released in the United States on April 25, 1997, and in other countries on different dates. The film received a PG-13 rating from the American Film Evaluation Board for scenes of violence and profanity. The film was distributed by 20th Century Fox and screened in 2,682 North American movie theaters. The film grossed $122,823,468 globally, of which $47,472,316 in North America and $75,351,152 in other countries. The film was the second highest grossing volcano theme film in 1997, after Dante's Peak, which grossed $178,127,760 globally. The estimated budget for the film was US $90 million. The film was released on DVD and Blu-ray videos at different times. The film was broadcast on several television channels, such as Fox Action Movies, Dubai One, and others. The film received varying reviews from critics and audiences, and gave the film a rating of 5.5 out of 10. Building. The film won the Saturn Award for Best Special Effects in 1998. The film was nominated for the Razzie Award for Worst Film in 1997. The film was nominated for MTV Award for Best Thriller for the bridge collapse scene. The film was nominated for the Japanese Academy Award for Best Foreign Film in 1998. The film was nominated for the Golden Voice Award for Best Sound Effects in 1998. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.